I stopped my daughter from going down a path that would destroy her, but I ended up going down that same path myself. When my daughter Audrey turned 18, I tried to do everything I could to be able to pay for her dream college so that she could become a lawyer. But being a single dad and working in construction, there was not much money laying around. When I told her, she said, "Daddy, don't worry. I will take out a loan and pay it back when I am a successful lawyer." Well, fast forward 2 years, and I'd noticed that Audrey had become way more reserved, and she started skipping her classes. One morning, I knew she had an important test that she was supposed to take, and she still had not come out of her room, and I was worried she would be late, so I barged in. That's when I saw Audrey webcamming on multiple sites and asking people to send her some money for some honey. The second she saw me, she screamed and threw something to cover herself up, and I ran out of there, apologizing. It was a rough start to the morning, and I sat at the kitchen table shocked at what I had just seen. About 30 minutes later, Audrey walked downstairs, dressed professionally, ready to head out to school, and was avoiding eye contact with me. I looked at her and said, "Audrey, honey, I'm not mad at you. Just please tell me why." And that's when she broke. She told me school was too expensive, and she didn't want me to take on extra jobs because she knew I would be too exhausted, and she wanted to put herself in this school, so she had to figure out how to take care of business herself. She'd spend nights and mornings on the camera, making sure not to show her face, and she was making good money off of it, but it had ruined her sense of self. I gave her a huge hug and wiped the tear that rolled down my cheek. "Audrey, please do not ever do this again. We will figure the money out together, but don't risk your future success by doing this." And she nodded. She thanked me for not being too upset with her before heading out to take her test. But that day, my entire life changed, and I set out to figure out this new mission. I needed to find a way to make money and be fast about it, and I took to Reddit for suggestions, where I found someone suggest I find a sugar cougar who would pay me to go out with her. I found an older woman from a couple of towns over who lived in an extremely posh neighborhood. She had a huge inheritance from her father, who was a successful banker and businessman, and she saw money and something to throw around. The first date went well, and after a few weeks, I must admit that I was starting to fall in love with this woman. I brought her over to our house, and on multiple occasions, she helped Audrey study by quizzing her on tort law. She even offered to pay for extra tutoring if Audrey was interested, and Audrey said yes. On multiple occasions, Audrey and my lady would go out shopping together and even cook dinner in the kitchen. Audrey even taught her how to make my favorite after-work meal. The two of them grew to have an unbreakable bond, and she ended up settling into our family perfectly.